Hello and welcome everyone once again. I hope you're doing well. Introversion dan juga extroversion adalah terms yang kita biasa dengar, yang commonly associated dengan how we socialize dengan orang lain. But let me ask you this. Apa maksud and proper definition of introverts, extroverts dan juga by extension ambiverts? You might say something like introverts ni pendiam, extroverts pula bising, and ambiverts adalah orang yang balance from both aspects. And that's the thing, that's not how you define introverts, extroverts and ambiverts. And that's why I'm making this video. It's because we should fix our perspectives on how we look at these terms and the people yang kita attribute these terms with. Hi everyone, you can call me Nictel, and previously my name here was Vulgaris, but I rebranded so no one knows how to fucking pronounce that. Anyways, I'm an introvert, but as you can see, I'm not really that awkward talking to a nearly non-existent audience because you folks malas nak tekan subscribe button and ring the bell untuk dapatkan notification whenever I make and publish a new video. Invitations for you to subscribe, like and share this video and channel for extra clout aside, how am I an introvert if the people who knew me are used to me being a class clown masa sekolah, a particularly well-versed public speaker yang tak tahu malu sampai sekarang, and also a person who literally has to speak to other human beings as my current job when I'm not making videos? Well, the reason is actually pretty simple. Kita punya definition of introversion is very wrong compared to the actual truth and facts. The reality is, while it's almost true yang kebanyakan introverts adalah pendiam, it is not the very definition of introversion itu sendiri. Same goes with loud, social people dalam konteks extroversion. Think of it macam ni lah. While kebanyakan orang dalam komuniti pondan ataupun maknya, I am sorry if that is an offensive term, but I really don't know how to phrase it better. Oh my god. Minat dengan lelaki. I bet korang tahu a few yang maybe korang kenal or pernah dengar who are very vocal about them actually being straight and suka perempuan macam majority lelaki straight dekat dunia ni, kan? Macam tu jugalah introversion dan juga extroversion. Banyak yang introvert tapi pendiam, dan banyak juga extrovert tapi agak bising. Tapi tak semuanya macam tu. So this begs the question, apa definisi sebenar introvert dan juga extrovert? Jawapan untuk persoalan yang kita nak jawab ni agak simple. Introversion dan juga extroversion dari aspek sosial adalah di tendensi atau kecenderungan untuk seseorang individu tu untuk charge diorang punya social energy and interact with diorang punya surroundings. Still tak faham? I'll try to make it easier for you to understand. Kita boleh pisahkan explanation untuk both terms untuk bagi korang senang lagi faham in layman's term. Oh, Mike, chill. Senang cakap, introverts ni diorang charging bila bersendiri, manakala extroverts pula charge bila dia socialize dengan orang lain. Macam tu. Maybe some of you akan cakap, hey boss, siapa je yang suka socialize all the time? Semua orang akan penat kan lepas borak lama sangat. And you know what? You are not wrong, but you are kind of missing the point. Sebab tu keyword yang kita nak emphasize balik dalam definisi asal tadi adalah tendensi atau kecenderungan. Tak percaya? Cuba rewind balik video tu tadi. Introversion dan juga extroversion dari aspek sosial adalah di tendensi atau kecenderungan untuk seseorang individu tu untuk charge diorang punya social energy and interact with diorang punya surroundings. Orang pertama yang gunakan term introvert dan juga extrovert dalam sejarah dunia ini adalah psychoanalyst dan ahli psikologi terkenal yang bernama Carl Jung. Okay, sebutan dia yang betul is Jung. Yeah, bukan Jung, bukan Jung, okay? Carl Jung once said this: there is no such thing as a pure introvert or extrovert. Such a person would be in the lunatic asylum. Terjemahannya kinda berbunyi macam ni lah. Tak ada manusia yang 100% introvert ataupun extrovert. Kalau ada pun, orang tu dah masuk rumah orang gila. Something like that lah. I bet some of you tengok anime kan. Kalau korang tengok series ataupun baca manga Komi Can't Communicate, dia tak boleh bercakap dengan mudah, but she still wants to make friends. That part of her yang nakkan lebih banyak kawan, that's the part of her yang extroverted. Simply put, an introverted individual yang tak gila dan sihat akal fikiran pun will have parts of them yang nak embrace their extroverted parts. Walaupun extroversion tu kalau nak dizahirkan dalam bentuk ratio cuma 1% daripada 100. Now, korang dah faham apa definition sebenar introversion dan juga extroversion. I bet some of you dah terjumpa soalan baru yang tengah bermain dalam kepala otak korang. Some of you are now curious nak tahu how to know if you're an introvert or extrovert kan? To answer that question, aku nak gunakan event yang terjadi globally in recent years to tackle that issue. Masa pandemik hari tu, most of us kena duduk rumah sebab PKP kan. To use this period of time to determine korang intro ataupun extro, how did you feel terperap dalam rumah when there's no one else? If kau rasa resah, gelisah and sentiasa rasa nak keluar, there is a very big chance that you are indeed seorang yang extrovert. In my case, I can confirm yang I am indeed an introvert sebab that time alone, just me and myself in my room, I feel so happy and rasa aman yang teramat sangat. Even tak ada PKP pun aku personally tak suka keluar rumah, whereas orang yang extroverted pula akan lebih minat nak keluar rumah untuk melepak in comparison to introverted people like me. There are times bila aku rasa macam nak socialize dengan orang tapi tak selalu sangat, and that's why Discord is everyone's best friend masa PKP. It's important to note, however, that you can differentiate introverts and extroverts based on the size of social circle diorang. Introverts are more comfortable dengan setting yang lebih personal, kecil and tak kelam sangat. Personally, aku panggil benda ni as social claustrophobia. Aku tak suka kalau banyak sangat orang and it's too crowded. Orang ni nak orang dengan dia, orang sebelah dia pun sama juga, and that creates a total noise shitstorm in my brain that drains me from all of my social energy. Aku suka duduk diam-diam, borak about benda yang aku boleh focus on, and normally kau tak boleh achieve this in a group yang terlalu besar dalam satu conversation. Orang yang extroverted pula, dia tak cepat overwhelmed dengan big crowds. To them, the more, the merrier. But that doesn't mean introverts and extroverts can't get along, because we can. Cuma kena ingat lah, we have to meet each other halfway and learn to adapt to each other properly. Introvert-extrovert friendships are pretty fun to be in, so find someone who can respect your wavelength bila bersocial, even though diorang macam at the very opposite of your own social spectrum. Also, this varies from one individual to another, but your level of introversion dengan extroversion obviously tak sama dengan orang lain. Kat part ni aku boleh explain why loud people can be introverts and vice versa. Again, ambil contoh aku sendiri, I'm a very loud person. Banyak instances di mana orang-orang di sekeliling aku sendiri boleh rasa drain being around me sebab diorang tak boleh handle my energy. But what they don't know is I expend ataupun menggunakan all of my social energy in one full burst in an hour or two, at most pun 3 hours. Lepas tu blah and hibernate and be alone in my room with the lights off for around 1000 tahun macam tu. Lepas tu on balik bila aku dah ready nak bersosial balik. The opposite is true as well for extrovert. I bet you have that one friend yang pendiam tapi you rarely see them being alone. Dia macam suka being around people walaupun dia tak bercakap, tapi dia suka being in a group. This is also salah satu contoh possibility that they are an example of orang extrovert yang pendiam. So now we know kita ni introvert or extrovert. Macam mana pula dengan ambivert? What are they? Bila kau nampak prefix ambi dalam some English words, you can always assume it means something macam sesuatu tu berada di tengah-tengah, atau boleh di direct translate ke dalam bahasa kita as boleh untuk kedua-duanya. Contoh, orang yang ambidextrous adalah orang yang boleh menulis dengan kedua-dua belah tangan, compared to the vast majority of us yang boleh menulis dengan tangan kanan only, or some of us yang bertangan kidal. In my case, my right hand is my dominant hand, while my left hand isn't because it's submissive. I've always wanted to make that joke. Totally worth it. So now we know the basic meaning of prefix MB ni. I guess some of you dah boleh assume maksud ambivert. But to those yang still can't figure it out, ambiverts are people yang exhibit equal amounts of introversion dan juga extroversion. Earlier on, aku dah establish and emphasize yang introversion dan juga extroversion adalah determined based on the aspect of kecenderungan atau tendency for us to lean on either one, and tak ada orang yang sihat akal fikiran yang 100% introverted ataupun extroverted. Knowing that in mind, bila kita nak borak about ambiverts, aku kena clarify a few things. Technically speaking, if you are 55% introverted and 45% extroverted, you are still considered more of as an introvert. But 45% for extroversion is still quite banyak dalam this whole spectrum. So we can still kind of consider you as some kind of an ambivert juga. And according to most experts yang dah buat kajian tentang benda ni, apparently 2/3 manusia dalam dunia ni adalah ambiverts. Sebab range introversion dan juga extroversion diorang tak jauh beza. In other words, if this is correct, ambiverts are actually the majority kalau kita just bundarkan orang yang levels of introversion dan juga extroversion diorang balance as ambivert. But one thing yang aku boleh confirmkan for sure is most of us, according to this style of thinking, are ambiverts. Telling people yang kau adalah seorang ambivert ni dah macam telling other people yang kau ni manusia and kau minum air. Kira macam abuden lah. That's why it's important to identify kecenderungan kau kat mana, so you can choose your side as a proper introvert or extrovert. But what if you are actually having difficulty trying to identify yourself as an introvert or extrovert? Untuk part ni, let me introduce you to true ambiverts. True ambiverts ni adalah people who embody a perfect symmetry of both worlds. Macam Hannah Montana. I said perfect symmetry sebab true ambiverts have equal levels of introversion dan juga extroversion. Both perfectly, let me emphasize this, perfectly at 50%. They are actually pretty rare, with some estimates even meletakkan their percentages to be around 5% dalam population manusia yang hidup melata dekat muka bumi ni sekarang. Aside from the fact yang aku just nak share the actual meanings of introversion dan juga extroversion, the reason aku nak bercakap tentang isu ni adalah disebabkan ada masyarakat dalam negara kita ni masih ada misconception yang salah dan boleh membawa kepada misunderstandings tentang introverts and extroverts. Orang yang introvert selalu dilabel masyarakat sebagai orang yang tak ada soft skills, tak tahu cara bersosial, lebih susceptible to mental illnesses macam depression, anxiety and juga other disorders that you can think of dalam kepala korang sekarang ni. Meanwhile, the extrovert community pula are commonly associated with being annoying and loud, overconfident, and are generally considered as bad listeners. And all of these are not necessarily true. Oh my god, get your bearings together, dude. I know korang mesti kenal someone yang sangat-sangat pendiam, tapi bila dah kenal and diorang dah rasa selesa, kau rasa susah to just shut them off, and you love them anyways. You probably know that one kid that is so loud and entertaining to be around, but knowing them a bit more reveals how they're struggling dengan how depressed they truly are. Some of you might know someone yang sangat-sangat pemalu in your social circle, tapi bila bab kerja, presentations or meetings, dorang macam someone yang totally different. And I believe lots of you juga ada seorang kawan yang lepas kau tengok video aku ni, kau boleh identify dia as someone yang betul-betul extroverted, tapi bila kau ada masalah, dia reti nak diam and dengar masalah kau dari awal sampai akhir, and truly support kau dalam bab nak handle masalah kau. Masa aku mention semua benda tu just now, some of you definitely had the faces of your loved ones at the back of your mind. And you know what? They're probably really lovely people that you should really be thankful for, who I hope are also thankful enough to have you in their lives as well. I hope. Akhir kata, Thank you guys for watching. Sudi-sudilah subscribe and like and share this video so that my video boleh manfaatkan orang lain juga. I'm juggling a few jobs right now, sebab tu aku jarang upload. But I'll try to upload a lot more because I really enjoy doing this, talking and sharing to people on the internet about things I think are really fascinating. But if korang nak, bolehlah juga support member dekat Twitch. Right now aku tengah stream this one game called Darkwood.
Whoa, what the fuck are you? What the fuck is that? No. What? How do I run away from you? How do I run away from you?
And I'm having lots of fun over there as well. So link is in the description down this video. Anyways, that's about it, I guess. I'll see you again some other time, hopefully. Bye.